right, welcome to another episode of Car Ride Conversations. Real quick, just so a word just dropped, and y'all know when I get a word I can't hold on to it, I gotta say it. So I was just thinking about how when we move forward in life and the Lord, you know, promises us things or tells us things, or we feel as though you know, he's taking us to another level, something that holds us back is the fact that we like to steal, and this is me referring to the children of Israel, if you've been catching up with my manners, us referring back to our Egypt, or we feel like we want to go back to Egypt, but he has told us there's a promise. Or we want to feel like we want to go back to our Egypt, but God is constantly providing things for us, but we're not even giving him credit for that. But we want to go back to Egypt. Why? Because that's our norm. That's what we're comfortable with. And sometimes we can't go towards our promise because we're still stuck in our Egypt. We can't go towards our promise because our mind is still focused on our Egypt, because that's just comfortability, if that's even a word, for us. But we have to understand, if we're going to keep going forward, if we're going to do what God has called us to do, or move towards the way God wants us to move, we can't attach to our promise if we're stuck in Egypt. We're not going to get there. We're not going to get there. The promise is there. The provision is there. The sovereignty is there. But you can't stay in your Egypt and expect to get those things. You can't continue to go back to it and expect to get those things. If we're going to get to where God is going to take us, we have to understand that our Egypt is not a part of the plan. Or in other words, let's bring to us, let's bring application. Our past is not a part of the plan. Our past is not a part of the pathway for us to get there. Our past is our platform to our future, but it's not the pathway to our future. The past is the platform to our future, but it's not the pathway to our future. So understand, the promise is there. Understand that it may not make sense sometimes when God is taking you to another level, another place. It may not make sense sometimes. It may not be exactly the order or the way in which you want it to be, but just because it is not, that does not give you the right or the excuse to be like, oh, I'm gonna be stuck in my past, or I'm gonna use my past as a blueprint, or because this happened in the past that it applies now. No, the only thing in the past that applies now is God's past performance of what he has done and has brought you out of. Not the things that have kept you bound, not the things that have been your norm, not the things that have been holding you back, not the things that has been pleasing your flesh, not the things that has been pleasing your ego, not the things that have been pleasing your pride, because most of the time those are the things that happened in your past, and we use those things as excuses to why we're stuck there. You can't be stuck there if you're expecting to get to the promise. You can't be stuck there if you're expecting to get to the promise. That's why it took the children of Israel so long to get to the promised land, because he had to get Egypt out of them. He had to get Egypt out of them. So sometimes you're not going to get to your promised land because he has to get Egypt out of you. He has to get Egypt out of you. And that is talking about your past out of you. And when he gets your past out of you, or when he's working to get your past out of you, understand that it's going to be a hurting process. Understand that he's going to hurt. It's going to hurt out of you. But you know what? It's going to be worth it, because you're going to get to the promise. You're going to get to the promise. 100%. You're going to get to the promise. So I hope this word blessed you. For sure. I'm sorry it was all over the place, but it just dropped and I had to give it. I have to say stuff when it comes to me. If I don't, then I lose it. Because I don't got no notes. So I hope this blessed you, people of God. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Car Ride Conversations. God bless you.